Well, we're back at it today, everybody. We were working on a new house build. Came in here last week. On the other side of the truck, we installed the septic. Had to put in the pump tank, and about right over there is the drain field. A couple months ago, we came here and we made this cut for the customer. And back there, about where my truck is, that's a 5-foot cut that comes all the way out. All that dirt is all through here. Now, naturally, I've been working on it with a SkidSteer over there. There's my old T66. And so you can see the dirt was mounted up. It was a big mound, kind of like you would mount it with a paddle pan or something like that. And so we've been cutting it out and moving it. And right now we're just kind of roughly grading it in. And the rest of this dirt, what we're gonna do today is get these cuts down. And what we're doing is just lightly leveling. We're not getting too crazy yet, but we're lightly leveling the area out, right? Give the customer a little bit of backyard, all that. The reason why we'll be back to finish grade it, but the thing is, coming out right through here, customer's putting the pool in. And there's going to be a lot of dirt that comes out of that pool because it's going to be a pretty good size in-ground pool. And so we'll use a lot of that dirt to level up some of these low spots where I'm dipping and diving with the skid steer and stuff. And to finish grade around the house. Customer has his mini X. They got a well down there and they're pulling trench, running water. Then over there, if you can see, let me zoom in. There's a pile of dirt. He leveled it out, but it's like 4 feet of fill over there. So we'll rob some of that to backfill the front of the house and the side, and then we're gonna leave a little bit of this dirt piled up for backfill. But with that being said, with the pool being right here, and I think in the deep end, it's gonna be like 12 foot deep, and it's gonna be a 40 or 50 foot long pool, and it's gonna be 12 or 14 foot wide. So it's gonna be a fair amount of dirt. So a lot of that dirt's gonna be used to backfill around the area. There's a little bit of a swell already cut in naturally right here. So, you know, once we get the pool in, see how that lays, we'll continue to carry that swell, because from where the truck is to right here, you're about a foot above grade. And so we'll fill this in and cut in a soft swell so it pulls away from the house and pulls away from this hill. Just slide it right on down through here and let it taper off into the woods. But anyway, it's been a while since I made a video. My apologies. When these YouTubers say it takes a lot to stay on top of this, it ain't no joke. Because when you get to work, last thing you want to do is stop and think about making videos. It's all about production. That's what it is, all about production. So anyway, right there in front of the truck, about right there where that little gray box is, that's the pump meter. And then we ran a line up to the distribution box. Here's the top of the distribution box. And then all through here is our drain field. And so we'll come here and slick this up. And like there's a low spot there and a couple low spots. So as I cut the rest of this dirt out, we're going to level it out some. And then we're just going to keep carrying it back towards the woods and dressing that tree line up. But yeah, that's what we're doing. Probably got about 2 hours left, ain't much left for this go around. So as we do it, I have a ram mount. I'm not sure exactly how well the noise will be in the skid steer, but I have a ram mount, and I'll catch back at you when we get done greasing and fueling the machine and get to moving, and we'll get some video of cutting and moving dirt with this. I think I got you back with me. This ram mount that I got my phone connected to is not a big fan of this skid steer. Front windshield's got a little bit of concave to it, and it don't like pulling off it. Like I said, it definitely works a lot better in my skid steer, or I mean my Mini X. I need to find a way to mount this so I can start taking more videos. Seems like lately I've been spending more time in this thing than I have anything else. Which, thank the good Lord, I'm blessed, and I have a machine I actually spend time with, and go to work. I appreciate every bit of that and my customers. I don't know if anybody heard, but you know the Fed Powell is supposed to be dropping interest rates for you in the building community or the grading and construction community. If things started to get slow for y'all, hopefully that means they'll start picking back up. Seems like there's always a rush once we start dropping a couple points, which is a good thing. But again, this is what we doing, just cutting and filling. Once we get all this dirt cut out of here, we're gonna pull some cervicals and level and scrape this up and dress it up and do what we can. Homeowner came by earlier and he's got a mini X himself. I think I showed that. It's right over there in the woods if you see it. He's gonna clean a lot of this up. This cut that I'm working on is about 2.5 feet, and he just needed somebody to come here and cut it down. Since I have my SkidSteer over here doing the septic, the pump system and stuff, he just went ahead and asked me to go ahead and cut all this down for him, so he has something to work with. So that's what we're doing. It's a nice area. It's quiet back here. Homeowner owns 18 acres back here. I cleared the house lot, did all the driveway work and all that. All that took place last year, so one of those customers you appreciate because you do a job here and they call you back in 3 or 4 months and do another job and call you back in 3 or 4 months. And you'd be surprised when the schedule starts to get a little slow or thin. All of a sudden, you know, you get a couple customers like that and they help fill in those gaps, and it's that in itself is a blessing. That is a blessing in itself. We did hire somebody. I say I hired somebody. I hired a subcontractor. He helps me personally with some of my projects I got, and then he helps me with projects I can't get to. He's able to clear land, cut driveways in, all that good stuff, and he's got his own things going on too, so it works. When he's slow, I can use him and put him to work. And a couple times when I had a week or so on my scheduled appointments and went and helped him, and it seems to be a working thing, which I appreciate. Good guy, accountable, shows up on time, got his own vehicle and brings his own tools. That's why I kind of like the fact of working with a subcontractor instead of an employee, which there's benefits of both, but at least the sub, he comes out here, he knows what's going on, he's done it, he's got the tools to do it. Not much has to take place, which I appreciate. A little swell I cut in right there. Yeah, got a big lot up here in Gaffney, South Carolina coming up for one of my builders. Hopefully in the next month or so. It's going to be 9 acres we're clearing. 9 acres, going to be cutting in 9 house lots, 9 driveways, 9 pads, 9 septics, 9 water lines, 9 everything. So here shortly we're going to be up there for a couple, 2 or 3 months, depending on weather. It's supposed to get started back in August, but Trump and his alleviation of those red tape and bull crap with regulations hasn't kicked in yet. So builder ran into a couple regulations with the county and the state that was not expected from previous ones we've done, and so we're we all getting through and working through that, but that is what it is. We'll deal with it. But I am ready to get started with that. These small jobs like this are nice, help keep the lights on and pay the bills, but it's nice to hang my hat on a shingle for 2, 3, 4 weeks, a month or so. Yeah, I don't. Little jobs is where I started, and I still do these smaller jobs, but it gets kind of old moving machinery every day of the week. Different towns. This is like we brought the SkidSteer out here. You know, it came from an hour and a half away. And that's just part of it. We cover such a large service area. You know, I probably do it to myself. Originally born and raised in South Carolina and married and moved to North Carolina, so now still got a lot of work in South Carolina. We're building the North Carolina side out, but South Carolina still produces most of the work at the moment. So like this job right here, it's about 112 miles from the house. Drove it this morning and driving it back this evening. Then tomorrow, my builder bought a 3/4 acre lot. We're going to start on it. It's already cleared, which is good. And going to take the old John Deere out there and we're going to mow it. And it's supposed to get perk tested on Thursday, and hopefully in the next week or two we'll be getting started on that one. And that one will be like most of my lots. We're going to clear it, build the house seat. Go ahead and run the water line, install the septic, do the construction entrance, get it prepped and ready. You know, one thing people ask me a lot is, you know, how do you find jobs? I'll tell you, it really varies. There's a lot of different avenues that anybody can go after, but I tell you, you just need to pick one or two and you need to go after. Like one avenue is Facebook. We talk about Facebook ads, right? Well, don't go post a couple pictures and spend $100 for a month and expect to get a bunch of work. That just ain't gonna happen. Make Facebook good or profitable or potentially, you know, good business source on that behalf. You need to, you know, I spend $400 or $500 a month for an advertisement. And I'll put some good pictures of before and after a land clearing, and then the grading and the paths, and I'll do some pictures of the trenching for the water lines and the septics and all that. And I sell all my services, but in the ad too, though, I also state we can offer turnkey, or if you just need a septic guy, hey, I can be your septic guy. If you need somebody just to clear it because you got other people, I can be your clearing guy. Try to be a one-size-fits-all. We're pretty efficient at all of it as well, and that's a benefit too. Don't advertise something you're not good at. If you get asked to do a job that you've never done or not really good at, that's one thing, but don't advertise for it. Advertise what your niche is. Doing your niche is what gets you. The reason why I say that is because people, when you do something you're confident in, people can see that in your quality of work. If you're not confident, people can see that too. But Facebook has been good. Believe it or not, hell, we still run Craigslist ads. It's nothing fancy. It's a couple pictures of machines clearing land and septic, and you know, it's an overlooked ad or overlooked source, and you know, I probably wouldn't do it, but it's free. Well, I think Craigslist is good for 45 days or something like that, but one good thing I like about it, it's free. Throw a couple pictures, short description, yada yada yada. Well, guess what? I get 1 to 2 jobs a month off that Craigslist now, and I ain't got nothing in it. I I've already got the Rolodex of pictures, so that's helpful. And as much as, you know, Facebook has been good, you know, Craigslist is one of those free ones. A lot of people don't think about it. You gotta think about generations, right? It's all about generations. My demographic, I want to reach anybody that's 18 years old all the way up to 80 years old or 85 years old, because everybody's got something. But everybody's also has their own individual way of finding those sources. It could be word of mouth, it could be Facebook ads, it could be Craigslist, it could be a farmer's bulletin. Here in South Carolina, North Carolina, a farmer's bulletin run ads free. Well, again, that's another free source of getting your name and your number and your offerings out to the public. You don't have to go pay one of these SEOs $500 a month to build you a website, or $500 a month because, you know, Google goes off some proprietary technology of keeping you #1 and blah blah blah. I built my own website. I have my own Google page. I have yet to pay anybody for it, and I'm #2 in my area. And I don't run any type of marketing with Google. Now I did, but I don't anymore. Biggest thing I see with a lot of people too, though, when it comes to business, you got to know your numbers. That's you know, learning the job, doing the job, that can come in time. That's, you know, just being in the seat, figuring it out, watching YouTube, you know, things like that. That will come. But there's no good sources out there to teach you business. You know, marketing is part of business. Setting up your company for taxes, that's part of good business. Now, are you a LLC? Are you running as a sole proprietor? Are you an S Corp, C Corp? Those are things you need to find out. Those are things you need to know. Because if you don't know, you might be losing potential tax write-offs, such as mileage on your vehicle. Something small. Or such as an S Corp. S Corp, you pay yourself a salary, and then the business itself pays a flat rate 15%. As my accountant says, the IRS says you just have to pay yourself a livable wage. They don't put a number on it. So depending on what your area is for a livable wage, shoot, just do that. But yeah, overbidding or overestimating or underestimating is a big one I see. When I come do a job, or when I come price a job, the customers allow it. They had other bids, you know, I'll give them my number, and then I'll ask, you know, just out of curiosity, where did everybody else come in at? That's how you can see where you're at in the market. If that customer said, hey, you know, you're the cheapest bidder. Okay, cool. Well, if you don't mind me asking, where was everybody else? Well, my bid's $5,000. Everybody else was 10, 12, or 14 grand. Well, guess what? Not only did you leave $5,000 to $7,000 on the table, but you're either missing something in the bid completely. You're not allowing yourself enough time on something, or the market's higher than what you think it is, and you need to adjust. Now, everybody's different on how they do that. For example, if I know I can do the job for $5,000 and I can make $2,500 profit, and it's 2 days worth of work, to me that's pretty solid, right? If I know I get the same guy going to do the same exact job and he's 10 grand or 12 grand, all right. Well, I'm not going to do it for 10 grand because in my being, I can't do that, because that's just 100% price gouging, and that ain't right. But, all right, well, if they're at 7 or 10 to 12 and I'm at 5, I might charge 7 or 8. But how do you know that? One, without asking the customer. They'll tell you, and some customers won't. They think it's a secret squirrel thing. But two, you got to know your numbers. You got to know your numbers. I'm not saying I'm the best at numbers, but one of the best ways to learn your numbers is to track every single job. If you're doing a septic job, and it costs you $4,500 in material, and then you expected to put 14 hours on the Mini X, and you end up putting 16 hours on the Mini X. But if you charge $100 an hour, guess what? You just got out $200. You're gonna have to come out of pocket. Well, if you got a laborer out there helping you, paying them $20 an hour, $25 an hour, whatever it is, guess what? You just paid it. That $200 equates almost a whole extra day in labor. And in my area, septics do not bring a lot of money, and knowing your numbers will make you and break you. I can promise you that. Because like in South Carolina, 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom septic system, traditional, running chambers, 7,000, 7,500 seems the average. I've tried to get 8. I know some people that get 8, but that's just not the average. Now in North Carolina, due to the cost of everything, $8,000, $9,000 you'll get for the same septic system. 50 miles away, I can go do septic systems 50 miles away and make an extra $1,000, $1,500 for the same work, the same amount of time, just because the states are a little different. It's crazy. But alright, well, we got some machine time. Y'all see what we're doing. I'll pick you back up once we get it done. Alright, here we are at the end of the day. No more dirt. It ain't perfectly level, and I know that. So if y'all want to beat me up, you're more than welcome to. We just had this pile of dirt up here. Customer wanted it down. He, again, they're going to put a pool in right here, so there's going to be a lot more dirt, and he just needed it knocked down. He has his own skid steer, and he's going to finish around the house some. I'll probably be here to help him with some of this more tedious stuff, but he just needed it knocked down. They already came and looked at it, and they're happy. So yeah, here we are. Not too bad. Good half day's work. As I was running the machine, I was doing some thinking. And one thing I would like to know as I start to get more frequent with these videos, what are y'all looking for? If y'all will, leave it in the comments. If y'all just want videos, machines working and not much overlay of talking and description, or do y'all want me to talk while I'm working and show y'all what I'm doing? I know I've done a few equipment reviews. We can stick with that. I do have my MBA. I will say that. So business and numbers is my thing. So do y'all want me to focus on how I look at jobs and bring y'all along as we look at jobs and certain things I look at, so I know, hey, we definitely need to put a line item for it and break it down and show y'all how I do quotes? Or, you know, I think I discussed a little bit about the marketing stuff where we get jobs and how we meet people and things like that. Or again, y'all just want to see equipment work and before and afters and during the project, you know. It just, right now is just kind of generalized of everything that we're doing, but as we move forward and I try to start pushing more of these videos out, just y'all let me know what y'all want to see. I prefer to make content that y'all want to watch or learn from, whatever it may be. Y'all just let me know. Right now it's still trial and error to figure out exactly what I want to do with it, but with the help of y'all, the people that's taking the time to watch these videos, which I do appreciate it. Thank you for the subscribers, and I hope y'all continue to subscribe. As we continue to start doing more videos, I can at least do for y'all, publish or create things that y'all want to watch instead of, oh, what's he going to talk about this time? But anyway, so this is it. I'll park my skid steer around front. Tomorrow, if I didn't mention it already, I got to do a mowing job for my builder. So I'll be on the John Deere tractor. I'll get some videos of that too. We got PERT tests coming up on Thursday for that job, and then after that, as soon as they say it's PERT, we're gonna get after that one. So you'll see tomorrow, for the ones that want to see beginning, during, and after, we'll show what it looks like. Which lot's already cleared, it's just heavily grown, so we're gonna mow it, then do the construction driveway, put the culvert in, and cut out the house pad, and go ahead and install the septic and all that good stuff. So yeah, like I said, as I was just thinking, and you know, right now we're all over the place and doing a little bit of everything, but I know what I like to watch on YouTube, but everybody has their own thoughts and ideas and what they prefer. So if y'all drop a comment and let me know, that'd be great. I want to thank y'all again for taking the time to watch these videos. I really do appreciate it. We're just, you know, good old boys just trying to survive and cut out our own little niche, as they say, of what we want to do in life and enjoy what we do and try to make a positive impact on people. That's all we can ask for, and as long as our customers are happy and we're sustainable at what we're doing, you know, God's going to bless us. Has blessed us. I can't even count the blessings. It's been a great year, and without the glory of Him, I definitely wouldn't be where I'm at. Yeah, and I'm glad I'm able to share some of this with y'all. I really am. But yeah, with that, thank y'all again. I do appreciate it. And like I said, if you will, drop a comment and we'll try to start video things that y'all will actually watch. And again, if it's more the admin side, we can start putting some of that in there. If it's bidding the jobs or walking jobs, or again, just kind of like what I had with this one, just camera and the machine, just moving dirt, knocking trees down, running chainsaw, or laying out septics, whatever the case is. Just let me know. Anyway, God bless, and we'll catch you on the next one.